Let's turn now to former U.S. Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott joining me this morning. Thank you for being with us on Morning in America. Why don't lawmakers create some type of replacement to Title 42 that wouldn't expire?
So the challenge here is literally that there were several programs in place that actually prevented mass illegal immigration like this. But this administration, through executive orders, actually removed most of those programs under the Immigration Naturalization Act, Title 8, if you will. That's the long-term immigration and border security legislation. Title 42 was for COVID. Title 42 was to keep Americans safe from a health threat. That statute is still in place, but the COVID emergency is going away. So we wouldn't even be talking about the Title 42 going away if the other programs were still in place. Immigration reform has been a challenge for many, many administrations, but every administration prior to the current one actually focused on border security, and it was getting better. With catch and release, meaning what your reporter just reported on, people get an NTA and they get allowed to come into the United States. That creates a magnet that no amount of law enforcement can slow down.
Catch and release. Basically, they are processed through the border, and by process, they're not, heavily vetted. There's not this extensive background check. I don't even know if they take fingerprints. Can you tell us what happens when they actually cross through that turnstile at the port of entry?
Sure. So under Title 42 or Title 8, people are interviewed very quickly. They get a name and bio. They're getting their fingerprints are taken and a photograph, and they're bounced off of American databases. And that's the challenge. If they've never been in the U.S. before or never committed crimes, well, we're not really going to know who they are. Under Title 42, they were then immediately expelled back to Mexico. That process could take minutes. Under Title 8, and the reason that Title 42 going away is such a big deal right now, under Title 8, that same thing happens, but then there's additional processing, and that takes hours for each individual person. The United States Border Patrol is already completely overwhelmed with this massive illegal immigration, taking hours and hours to process each individual person. That gives the cartels complete and total control over the border. That's why the cartels are out actively marketing this, because they use the illegal immigration to overwhelm law enforcement. So then they can bring in narcotics, criminals, or anybody that's willing to pay more money to avoid law enforcement in that second wave. This is a national security crisis. There are solutions out there. There were solutions in the last administration that worked. It simply made sure that people weren't released until after a judge had adjudicated their case. But unfortunately, those programs were taken down.
But if it was used 3 million times in the past year or so to expel migrants, could that be how many more people come into this nation through catch and release who are undocumented and unable to work legally?
You're absolutely correct, if not even more. There's a lot of estimates out there about what could be crossing the border once Title 42 goes away. But I want to remind people, right now, Border Patrol is arresting about 7,000 to 8,000 individuals every single day. They're documenting over 1,000 gotaways, sometimes up to 3,000 a day above that they just simply can't respond to. But they're leaving hundreds and hundreds of miles of border unopened. But what we're not factoring in is how people respond when they see other people crossing. But think of any protest that has devolved into like a riot. That's where we're at on the border today. We're really at the precipice of a riot type situation happening on the 11th when Title 42 goes away, because there's been so much hype and the cartels are marketing this as a tool. Numbers are going to go through the roof. They're going to increase even more. But right now, Border Patrol is already overwhelmed. Our borders are already pretty much non-existent.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.